Check, check, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for recording purposes. If I can get your name, please, and the name of the new single.
Satya, maybe we should.
Fantastic. Let's do this. Coming down in 3, 2, and 1. Thank you so much for making time to do this interview with me today. We're at the Delta Hotel here in Toronto. You got a lot of press going on because you got new music. Congratulations on that. First, how does it feel being here in Toronto? Spring hitting the city. I know it's a little rainy as we speak out there, but believe me, the warm weather is coming. Congratulations on the new music.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today for an interview. I'm really happy to be in Toronto. It's actually, there's no more snow. In Montreal, there's so much snow still. We were driving here and we were like, wow, this is amazing. No more snow.
Yeah, okay, just so you know, we actually shipped the snow from Toronto to Montreal.
Oh, you guys.
Yeah, well, we have to put it somewhere because you guys are like hot and heavy when it comes to the music scene and things like that. And you're a big part of that too. So thank you for coming to Toronto to do this interview. Montreal, what's the music scene like right now?
It's amazing. We have so much diversity. We have a lot of rap artists coming up, female ones too, and it's just pretty amazing. Like, we're just very diverse with our music, and I think that Canada in general has a lot of great artists right now that are actually worldwide.
Absolutely, but when it comes to Montreal, when it comes to the province of Quebec, you guys are almost like your own island. You know, and when somebody breaks out of there, it goes across Canada. For yourself, though, living in Montreal, the music influences, where did that all start to lead into what we're going to be talking about now?
It started by me being a child and listening to a lot of music that was coming from everywhere around the world. My parents used to listen to a lot of Motown music, very influential music, Whitney Houston, Aretha Franklin, Michael Jackson, Jackson 5, all the music with a lot of soul in it. Mm-hmm. So I started being very interested at a young age to just dance and hear the sounds, and just I started doing music very young, and then here I am today, still doing music.
But here's the thing, I mean, we all want to be that performer, we all want to sing and stuff like that. How did the vocal ranges and stuff too, how did you start developing that? And also your songwriting, did it start with poetry? Did it really actually start with songwriting?
It started by just writing down in journals my feelings, in general, And then for the vocal, when I was young, I used to listen to a lot of Celine Dion. And so at first I didn't understand because I was French, so I was born French, raised in French, so I didn't understand the lyrics, but I could understand the voice and the vibration of her voice, and I just felt it in my heart, and I felt like she was singing from the heart, and I was just mimicking the sounds of her. And then I found out about, I discovered Whitney Houston. And then when I was young, I used to always want to do show, and I didn't know the lyrics again, so I would just be on the fireplace at my parents' house going and I. And then I started singing more of her songs, and just felt like it was getting into my heart a lot,
But you just mentioned two of the most powerful performers ever vocally. What was it like for you, though, now to mimic those vocal ranges? I've done judging and stuff like that. When somebody says I'm going to sing a Celine Dion song or a Whitney Houston song, my first thing is, God, don't try it. You're never going to reach that. How were you able to conquer that bridge?
I feel like I have a very good ear, so at first I could just redo the sound, and as I was going into the music business, people not redo the exact sound, of course, because we all have our voice, but as I was going into the studio and recording my own stuff, my producers had to tell me, you need to stop sounding like other artists and sounding like you, because I never really did much of singing classes. I learned by myself, and I learned how to sing by myself a lot.
Wow, amazing. But when did you know, though, exactly, you know what, this is what I want to do, this is my passion, this is where I'm going to go. And when you told the family, how did they feel about that?
I knew from a very young age I wanted to be just like Celine Dion, so that was my dream. And of course, people are like, okay, you know, and my family was like, if you want to do that, you can do that, but it's a lot of work. And I was like, I will work. And then, so I was like doing this as a young girl, like just like practicing my music and like focusing on that. And then some events happened where I kind of put my dream aside and worked on myself. And when I had done the work I needed to do, I decided to go back on my dreams. And I told my family like that's what I want to do. And my parents were very supportive about it because they knew I could probably do it. And that's when I started to do that like professionally.
So did you go to competitions? Did you do did you go to clubs? Did you how did you work the circuit in Montreal to reach this stage?
I did a lot of events, charity events. I really love to do charity and to be like giving my voice to some like charities. I did weddings a lot. I didn't do much contests, but I did weddings. I did bars, clubs when I was younger. So that was a lot of practice for me.
Now you kind of mentioned too because you had to learn English.
Yeah.
What was that like now? I mean, there's so many transitions that it sounded like you had to go through to reach this stage.
Yeah, well, when I was young, my parents sent me to an English school, so I started to learn English. And the best way to learn a language is to be immersed in the where you are. So it was only English, so I couldn't not speak English. And then I started to watch TV in English and just do a bunch of stuff in English. And then like I said before, my ear is really good, so I can like reproduce any sound I kind of want to reproduce. And languages too, like I have Vietnamese friend, they tell me like Vietnamese word, and I'm like just like imitating the sound, and they're like, wow, you sound great. So English was like an easy language for me to learn, and I'm really happy I learned it.
So what made the difference in finally finding your sound, your voice? What was the edge that made a difference? And then we're going to start talking about leading up to this new single.
Okay, well, finding my voice, I had to find myself to find my voice. So I feel like when I found myself, because I've been through like a bunch of like hard things, and when I found myself, that's where I found the sound of my heart more, and that's when I felt comfortable being singing with all this passion. So, and now I understand how Whitney used to sing, because she was singing with all her pain, emotion, joy, happiness, whatever. And that's when I found that sound inside of me, when I found that light, that's when I started to sing like with my own sound.
Okay, so the new single is called
Maybe We Should.
How did this come about? Who did you hook up with this? Let's talk about leading into this now.
I was trying to find the best first single, so my manager was like, we're gonna see if we can collaborate. So at some point, like a year ago or so, I heard this song that was The Beat from Oliver German. He's from Los Angeles, and he sent it to my manager, and my manager is like, you need to hear this song, like you need to hear this demo. And so the lyrics were wrote like halfway like of the song, and I changed a bunch of things that I wanted to put on my own like sauce. And so I heard the song and I was like, this is the song I want to sing, because I just felt it inside of me. Like I felt it in my heart that this could be something good for all of my team, all of us,
What's the song about?
It's about love at first sight.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's about a fantasy, when you have a fantasy, but you're not going to act on it, but you kind of want to act on it, and you don't know what to do.
Well, something did happen with this. Does this song break down in the States?
Yeah, the original, I'm like, yeah. Yeah. The original got into 41st position, and the remix is top 30. I'm actually 30 now on the media-based charts in the United States. And it's so funny because my manager, when we put out the original in July, told me, like, listen, don't think you're gonna like go to the US right away, blah blah blah. And me, like, I was like, okay. But I felt it like inside of me maybe that I could have a chance, So when he called, like, so what happened is that in August, like a month after, a radio promotion company called us, and they're like, we saw your clip on YouTube, and we want to promote the song, and we want to like see if it can chart. It has potential. So I'm like, yes, let's go, let's do this. And I was like, thank you, the universe, for that. And then like slowly but surely, it like went up, and like to crack the media base in the U.S. with your first single at top 40 is like awesome. But then top 30 is like beyond. Like yesterday, I found out that I was number 30, and I was like crying.
And this is perfect timing too, because we're talking about spring, summer. We got something to rock to now.
Oh yeah.
I love it. So, when you've got a top 30 single happening in North America, does an EP, does an album follow, and do performances around the country happen too?
Yes, that's what we hope for. All artists hope for that. But the EP is going to come soon when I have like more material. Like right now, we wanted to like just put a single out because I'm independent. So we want to put a single out and just really see how it goes from there.
See how it goes. You're at a top 30. What else do you need to see how it goes?
I like to stay humble, you know.
Wow. No, I love that. Okay, but here's the thing, though. We need to follow you to know what is going on when you decide to release more music, when you decide to release this LP and perform, and hopefully coming back to Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
But don't bring the snow back with you. So, where do we go social media wise to follow you?
Everybody can follow me on any social media platform like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Satya Music. Music with a Q. So S like Stephanie, A, T-Y-A, Music, M-U-S-I-Q.
Okay, and you know what? This wouldn't be fair. Do you want to say anything to the folks in Montreal in French? Would you like to say anything to them?
Yeah, I will say merci beaucoup pour toute la belle culture que vous m'avez apportée, because I was adopted at birth and brought to Canada. So I'm really proud to actually be Canadian and from Quebec, you know, because I was born in Africa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Love the story, and the story continues.
Yes.
Thank you so much for this interview, doing this with me. Cannot wait to talk to you again for the new stuff, the future. Girl, I'm telling you, you are a movie waiting to happen. Cannot wait. Congratulations on the new single and all the success.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your time. I appreciate it.